remain seated during the keynote speech. Welcome back to the final day of the PNC conference and joint meeting 2025, hosted by the Institute of Social Science Information and Institute of Philosophy, Vietnam Academy of Social Science. Thank you so much for being here and remain very eager to learn about AI and all the project, interesting project and scientific project from the conference. And in the first day, we learned about the national strategy and AI mastery plan in Vietnam from a Vietnamese researcher. And on the second day, we learned various aspects of AI and human-AI interaction from evolutionary aspect. Today, we are very honored to learn about from human learning to machine knowledge, cross-disciplinary approach for building culturally aware AI from Professor Richard Tzong-Han, Tsai, National Science Technology Council President, Taiwan Association for Artificial Intelligence. And the chair of today's keynote speech is Associate Professor Wu Hongkong, Vice Director General of Institute of Social Science Information. Please join me to welcome the chair and the keynote speaker for today.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm very happy to start the first day of our conference by introducing the first keynote speaker, Professor Richard Tzong-Han. He holds a PhD in Computer Science and Information Engineering from National Taiwan University. In academia, Professor Tsai serves as a research fellow at the Research Center for Humanities and Social Sciences. He also holds the position of President of the Taiwanese Association for Artificial Intelligence and President of the Taiwan Association for Digital Humanities. In the program book of our conference, you can find out Professor Tsai's contribution to AI and digital humanities research. His keynote speech, entitled From Human Learning to Machine Knowledge, a cross-disciplinary approach to building culturally aware AI intelligence is essential for building the next generation of truly intelligent and responsible AI systems. So please warmly welcome Professor Richard Tzong-Han.
Okay. So good morning, everyone. I'm very happy to have you here to listen to my experience in building sovereign AI for Taiwan. So the core of the talk today will be describe the process, and I think this process is very invaluable because it's the experience in my life for 2 years, and I was tortured and I was excited about this. Yeah, and I hope that this experience can be shared and help other countries for the construction of sovereign AI. So I must use this. You will find that I use I don't use PPT or PDF as my media to write my site. Do you know why? This is due to my experience of developing large language model, because I found that it contains most of the knowledge, especially the latest knowledge. So I decided to discard this heavy and of the term. I started to use HackMD, which is a markdown format. So it's it's very, very easy to use. Yeah, this is my slide, and it is just a web page, and it is AI readable. So you can use this to train AI model. You don't need another process to process this document. So it's both readable by human and AI. So basically, very consistent with my talk. Yeah. So actually, this is about science, communication, and implement new technologies, because I think it is very important. And I'm honored that this work has been and the championship in major competitions like BioSQ and NIH BioCreate, the Wu Daliu Popular Science Award for my efforts to bring AI to a broad audience. Actually, I'm also I also appear on TV. Yeah. And most recently, I was deeply honored to be named of the Taiwan AI 20 by Commonwealth magazine. A list recognizing key figures shaping the figure of AI in Taiwan. So, but I think I in my head.
Sorry for the delay, but it's also a challenge that for an engineer, because I used to be an engineer before being a professor. Yeah. Okay, so this is a picture of the Commonwealth magazine, and it's a great pleasure to be here at the PNC annual conference. And today's talk aligns perfectly with this year's theme, Mind meets Machine. And yesterday's keynote here, given by Professor Han, highlighting the risk of the global AI arms race. And today I offer a different path, a pragmatic and a responsible approach built on by drawing inspiration from human learning theories. And I also share the story of Taiwan's own LLM, and we'll discuss moving from general to specialized models where cross-disciplinary collaboration shines. And finally, we will talk about the opportunity this creates for you. And so in part one, that's the beginning. That's all stories beginning in late 2022. The world changed forever because the arrival of ChatGPT was a shockwave that triggered a global race, demonstrating a new level of machine intelligence accessible to everyone. I think everyone here is using it for many things. And ChatGPT is incredibly powerful, but it was made elsewhere. So many of us think about question in Taiwan and across the Pacific. Can we build our own? And this led us to a question of national importance. Should we build our entire digital infrastructure on technology developed and controlled by other countries, especially in a high-stakes global race? So this forced us to consider the value of technological sovereignty, not just for independence, but also control over our own risk and safety. So this thing began in January 2023. A group of experts, including myself, proposed to our National Science and Technology Council that Taiwan should invest in building its own conversational AI engine, which we call Tsai. And on April 28th, 2023, the Tsai project. However, the path was far from easy. We faced immense million NT dollars. Maybe in Vietnam currencies, the number is looks more huge. I changed my NT dollars to Vietnamese. I found high. So the number is very little compared to every open source models.
Yeah, so it is very limited and cannot process every the P32. So that is the training, the beauty of training a large language model. And the third is the scarcity of how to collect that. And the government only have government data. So the data is very imbalanced. Only the lack of daily life and common sense. And the fourth is also very critical. The last one is a very tight deadline. I think I never encountered a project that asked us to have the first version after the project launch 45 days. When everyone know that, I think they will quit this project, compete with the giants resources. But this constraint became our strength. It forced us to avoid the risky content and open source model llama to create a culturally aware AI for Taiwan. And so in part two, we are metaphoring as elementary school, but technically it's called pre-training. This is where the model builds its initial understanding of the world. So to train the AI, we feed it a massive amount of text to learn the statistical pattern of a language. And it is like early childhood where we observe language and word knowledge from our environment. So the goal of this training process is to learn how to predict the next word. Yeah, so it is very simple. We just teach the machine to learn how to predict the next word. So the next word can be a word in a sentence or a formula. Like the scientists in OpenAI say, once I found that the machine knows 2 plus 3 equals to 5, then the machine understands how to do addition. Yeah, and this process directly corresponds to a learning theory called constructivism. It isn't memorizing text, it's building its own internal model of grammar, semantics, and word knowledge. So in stage 2, we middle school, training on a vast number of prompts is your instruction to train your model. And this process in human knowledge is like that. A student needs to answer questions from textbook, not just read it. And the goal of this stage produce the right response for a given stimulus and feed into the training program to train it. And this is where the value of cross-disciplinary talent become clear. We need to produce a lot of questions. And this question is meaningless for the real experts. I think that is the question in the prompts. And after we present these questions and prompts to real experts of expert historians. So if you want to invest in the startups and you are investigating a startup, an AI startup, you can check its members. If this AI startup claims that they are developing an AI lawyer, but in their team they don't have any member, we call it higher education, and actually technically it is alignment. This is where we teach the model about value, style, and nuance, the core of building a trustworthy AI. So in this stage, we use human feedback to align its responses with what we consider good. And this is like learning from social impact social interactions and methods to distinguish right from wrong. So the goal of this stage is to make the model's answer helpful, harmless, and honest. And this also can correspond to. So I think these values is different from country to country. In most LLMs are developed in the US, and they have their own values. And in Pacific, we have our own value. In Taiwan, we have our value, and in Vietnam, I think you have your own value. Yeah, and so that's why the importance of developing software AI. Okay, so we achieve this alignment using a model test called DPO, and this is the full name. The process starts with a simple human feedback. For a given prompt, we have a chosen answer, which is a good one, and a rejected answer, the bad one. Yeah, so DPO, but you cannot make the difference between the chosen and the rejected too far. Like one is a super good answer, one is a super bad answer. Then your machine will not learn something. Then this. You must find very normal answer and a very good answer. Then the machine will learn something. Yeah. And DPO uses this chosen versus rejected pairs to directly teach the model to increase the likelihood of general strategies announced by these tech giants, because they have 10,000 of NVIDIA GPUs and we don't have. I don't know how many GPUs your government or any number of GPUs if you want. Yeah, and this thinking is very different from you have limited resources. Yeah, so don't just read their paper, believe everything, because see that you have 10,000 of GPUs, and in Thai project we have less than 100. So our engineers tend to read paper and believe their paper, and I reject I decline their proposal, because we actually waste a lot of money to do reinforcement learning and fail. Yeah, that's my sincere advice. Yeah. So in part 3, I will describe the birth and growth of Thai. The key turning point arrived on January 19th, 2023. And on that day, Llama 2 was released. So, and very crucially, it was commercially usable. So this was a game changer, allowing our team to go all in transforming Llama 2 into a powerful traditional Chinese LM. And this led to the official release of Thai's commercial version. So in February, the preview version completed, and in April 15th, the first version of Thai officially released. And between these 2 months, what were we doing? We are doing safety tests. Yeah, so we were doing a lot of safety tests, because in Taiwan, many users many names incorrectly, and they will let us on the internet and say this is the model is released by the government, and it answers something politically incorrect. Yeah, I don't want to say that, but we actually spent 2 months to do that, and the team member of our engineers felt very frustrated on that. Yeah. Yeah. But in April 19th, Llama 3 model was released. So instead of Llama 2. Yeah.
So our goal is very clear. We want to create a trustworthy model that could replace the free version of ChatGPT for common office tasks. Because in government, the information cannot be revealed to all the AI or tech giants. So we only want to satisfy this group of users. Yeah. And so how did type actually perform? We did a head-to-head comparison with a world-class model. Here are the results, type versus ChatGPT 3.5. And we can see that type's performance is on par with ChatGPT 3.5, and even surpasses it in key areas like summarization and essay letter writing. Yeah, so but performance isn't enough. The real challenge of AI era is alignment. So we found that type doesn't just perform tasks, it understands Taiwan. When you ask type to write a story about an indigenous person, it knew that the Lukai people are from a county of Taiwan called Pingdong, and used the common Luka names. So this is the result. Actually, the question is asked by one of my friends. She's a writer. And for comparison, here is the ChatGPT's attempt. While it mentions Taiwan, you must do your own. If you find that ChatGPT can do that, don't do it. Just try to use it. Don't do it. Yeah. Unless you have some security consideration. Yeah. So that is incredible. Maybe this month you found that it cannot do something very well, but maybe next version it can do it. So don't. Let's now look at a detailed case study what happened when AI meets humanities. Humanities research faces a huge search problem. Data is massive, unstructured, and filled with historical context. And traditional keyword search often finds words, but completely misses meaning. So our goal is move from simple connection to conversational search. So actually, we adopt a method or technology called retrieval augmented generation. So this is the architecture of the RAG approach. So in simple terms, RAG prevents the LM from making things up. It forces the model to base its answer on specific information retrieved from a trusted knowledge base, allowing it to cite its sources. This is the key mechanism for building a reliable and trustworthy AI. So it first search and answer your question based on the search result. In simple words, it's like that. Okay, so our system called Taiwan, actually it is named after Professor Xiang. It's a very creative name and very meaningful. It's built on a four-step RAG framework. The first step is intelligent query processing. This is the brain of the system. It acts like a professional librarian taking a vague query and reformulating it into a precise command for the search system. And step 2 is two-stage document retrieval. This step finds the needle of the haystack. It first uses a faster keyword search, then uses a precise meaning-based search to rank the results. And step 3 is full text and metadata augmentation. This step gives the AI the full context. It gets the entire document and its metadata like author and date.
preventing it from taking things out of context. And step 4 is answer generation and real-time correction. So finally, the LM generates the full answer with citations, while another module simultaneously. Sorry, may I have like 5 minutes to end? May I have five more minutes? Okay. Sorry for the delay. Checks that every citation is valid and correct. So let's see in action with our NCL Taiwan project. Uses a database of academic thesis. So a student may ask a high-level question like, are there any studies related to burials and Buddhism? And the system retrieves relevant papers and then synthesize the information into a coherent, integrated answer, completed with citations. It even suggests future research topics based on what it found. Okay, so in part 5, I will talk about in your opportunity in the AI era. This is why we turning our university classrooms into an AI labs. Last year, I launched a course in National Taiwan University called Digital Humanities, Technology and Application to empower liberal arts students and show CS students real-world applications. So the students didn't just learn theory, they built actual working models. Our team built an ancient name alias query model. So it is because in classical text, a single historical figure might have many different names, like the very well-known poet Tsai. He also had names like Li Taibai or Qilian Tushi. And their model learned to connect these different names to a correct person. So you can see these are this team. And another team tackled the different problem of pronoun with resolution in classical Chinese. So part of pronouns like qi are often ambiguous. They built a model to resolve these pronouns automatically, making ancient text machine readable. So the key takeaways from the course is about empowerment. So it proves that the students from any background, when given the right tools and the guidance, can actively participate in building AI. So you don't have to be a computer scientist to contribute meaningfully. So this brings me to my final message for you. AI is not just a job for computer science majors. If you are in business, AI needs you. In law, AI needs you. In humanities, AI needs you. In sciences, AI needs you. It needs you to become their teacher. So what can you do? I want to leave you with the 4 actionable guidelines. First is develop your expertise, and the second is master collaboration. Yeah. And third is get your hands dirty. Don't just stay at the conceptual level. Just join a project or just creating a data set. Learn by doing, because AI changes very quickly. Yeah. And the fourth is stay curious and think critically. Yeah. So I think that's all. Thank you for your patience.